Welcome. In today's session, we are going to find how to write a Scilab program for stability analysis using root locus. So, the example open loop transfer function which we are considering to explain the program is g of s given by k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 5. I will not be taking care of theoretical aspects. Okay, the theoretical calculation required to understand the k value, okay, centroid, angle of asymptotes, number of asymptotes, all such theoretical aspects I will not be explaining in this video. So my main intention is to make you understand how to use Scilab to get a root locus plot for stability analysis. Okay, so let us go to Scilab. So in my previous video for Scilab experiment, we have discussed most of the scripts or most of the functionalities required to write a transfer function. So today mainly I will be concentrating on which function I should use to get root locus. So for the given question, okay, that is k divided by s into s square plus 2s plus 5, the polynomial is written like this. Okay, so numerator polynomial I am writing it as 1. So k, when you theoretically calculate where the is there any intersection of root locus on imaginary axis, we find that there is intersection, and the value of k for that particular intersection is found to be k equal to 10, which tells us that the system will be stable for any value k less than 10. So you can take here any value k less than 10, but usually as a programmer I prefer k equal to 1. So k equal to 1 stands true for any root locus program. Okay, usually for any open loop transfer function, okay, k equal to 1 serve as a good approximation. So always we consider k equal to 1. Okay, so in special cases when you do the theoretical calculations, okay, there are cases where root locus will not cross imaginary axis. In such cases also you can choose k equal to 1. Okay, no problem, it will not affect our locus. So based on that I have chosen k equal to 1, that's why my numerator is having a polynomial 1. Then coming to the denominator, in denominator I have s into, right, s into s square plus 2s plus 5. So I am convoluting s and s square plus 2s plus 5. So s is written as 0, 1, that is convoluted with your second order system. Okay, second order polynomial. So this will give me the denominator. So using syslin function as discussed in the previous video, I obtain my system, or I define my system. Now to obtain the root locus, okay, to obtain the root locus we use this function, okay, evans. So evans is the function defined for obtaining the root locus. So the syntax for writing evans is evans, okay, in open bracket sys is my system, comma 100. What is this 100? This 100 is a very high value of k, or we say this is k max. So this k max will vary with different questions. In this particular question, when I do my theoretical calculations, I understand that my system is stable for any value k less than 10. So I plot, or I need to have a root locus plot for values more than 10 also, because the root locus will cross the imaginary axis, it will follow the asymptote line. Yes, now till what I have to plot? Okay, if I choose this k very less value, okay, my plot will take that value of k, okay, to plot along the asymptote. So if k equal to 1 is where it crosses the imaginary axis, for example, then if I take k max as 2, then it cannot plot continue to plot the locus for any value of k less more than 2. Okay, so this make sure that this k max is a very large value compared to the value which we find, okay, in numerical calculations where it crosses the j omega axis. So in this case, 1 is the value I am used for k, so 100 is a very good comparative maximum value which I can use instead of 1. Okay, you can use it at 200, 500, 1000, doesn't matter. Okay, but it will take more simulation time if you use higher values, so it is better to use 100. So I hope this is clear. Okay, so to get a root locus, you have a defined function available in Scilab. So this is given by Evans. Okay, so the syntax is 6 comma k max, okay, maximum value of k, so I have taken it as 100. Okay, now this, okay, I'll explain you what is this after plotting. So let me comment this for now and try to get the plot. So I'll save and execute. Okay, so this is the plot what I get. Okay, so you have the roots here, okay, 1 2 3. If you theoretically calculated for the given question, you will find that you have, so you see there is one root, so this open loop poles, okay, represented as open loop poles. So you have an open loop pole at 0, you have open loop pole at 2.2 j something like, okay, those are the roots. Okay, so -1 plus or minus j2, I think that are the two roots for this particular problem. So okay, you get that. So these are the asymptotes drawn, okay, from the centroid. Okay, so now told you this grid lines are used to have a better visualization of it. Okay, because this particular graph, okay, is very blank, so it's difficult to understand the imaginary axis, it's difficult to understand where is the centroid. Okay, you can use, obviously you can use the toggle data type mode, okay, but to give it a more visualizing appeal, okay, we use this is for owning the grid. Okay, so in MATLAB we use grid on to switch on the grid lines in the graph, but in Scilab we have to use such a function. Okay, so you have to remember this for opening or switching on the grid in a graph. So if I use this, now my graph looks visually better with grid lines. Okay, so now I have grid lines. Now see here, okay, now you can spot the centroid. Okay, you can spot these roots. Okay, so this is your imaginary axis, correct? Now use the data type, click it and find out it's exactly where it is crossing the j omega axis. Okay, so theoretically you find that it is crossing at somewhere plus or minus j 2.23. okay, plus or minus j 2.23. okay, so it's somewhere here, yeah, it's approximately here, it's crossing. You can see that the value of k where it is intersecting the imaginary axis is a 10. Okay, so it is giving you the value of k, it is giving you the value where it is crossing the imaginary axis. Okay, so at this particular pole, okay, your k should be 0. Let us find that. Okay, you can see here. So this is the root. Okay, minus 1 plus 2j, where k is 0. So you can use these various data types. You can find exactly where is the centroid. Okay, analyze it with your theoretical value. Okay, you can approximately check the angles of the asymptotes. Okay, so the root locus, the plot is similar to your theoretical values, or it is matching with the theoretical values. This is what you have to basically verify. Okay, so Scilab is helping you to get a root locus plot. Okay, as easy as that. So you have an defined function known as evans. So you have to just feed the transfer function. Okay, you as numerator and denominator polynomials in the program, and you can just use evans to get the root locus of any given open loop transfer function. Okay, I think this is very clear. Okay, so thank you. So we'll meet, okay, with Bode plot program in the next video. Thank you.